You've had a couple days to reflect on the Tennessee meet. What's your take on how y'all performed?
I thought we were outstanding. Our athletes swam well. This is a meet that we talked to our team a lot about being important on a number of fronts. One, obviously it's important for us to get up and race fast and compete because elite athletes can compete at any point in the year and be fast. And so there was that. And then the big part for us as coaches is to see how they're responding to a giant training load over the last 6 to 8 weeks. We really have put a lot on them. They haven't had a lot of chances to race since probably mid to late November. So it has been all about training, and we've tried to really kind of wear them out a little bit and break them down in order to build them up over the next 6 weeks and make them faster. So we want to see how their training was affecting their racing. And I thought they handled it well. Tennessee's one of the best teams in the country. They're a top 15 program on both sides. Their girls have been as high as, I think, top 5 in the nation before at NCAAs. Our guys raced hard. You had arguably 2 of the best distance programs in the country going up against each other in our distance program and their distance program at Tennessee. Matt Kretich has done a great job with those 2 teams there and preparing them to be fast at the end of every year. Our guys raced well. On the women's side, we really took one of the best teams in the nation down to the last relay. Our girls were in that meet all the way through, and they had a couple of times where a couple of events didn't go the way we were hoping they would go, and I thought our girls handled it really well and kind of battled back. And like I said, when you're in a position stepping up on the last relay to take a top 10 team in the nation down at your home pool, that's a pretty good place to be. So all in all, I was pleased performance-wise. And that's really what we look for at this point in the year is how we're prepping for our SEC championships and how we're prepping for NCAAs.
Great. Emma Barksdale had a great meet against Tennessee. She won 3 events, including the 200 butterfly. You mentioned that she's only done that one other time in her life. So what does that say about her that she can go out there and do that?
She's an athlete. You've got, we have certain people on our team that are role players, and that we know this is where they're going to be week in, week out. They may be a 200 butterfly, and we know they're going to be in that event every week. And there are certain people on our men's and our women's team that I'll call chess pieces, where we can kind of put them anywhere, and they're going to win. Emma Barksdale is a chess piece. She can, you can put her, she hasn't swum the 200 butterfly since she's 13 years old, and she gets in against a top 10 team and wins it. That's just the kind of athlete that she is. This coming weekend, she's going to swim, not this coming weekend, in a few weeks down the road, she's going to swim 1,000 for us, and we're going to try to get her in a position where she can break our team record. We can put her anywhere, and that's what I mean by chess pieces. The men's team has a few, the women's team has a few, and I think that they embrace that role a little bit, and they're very good at it. So having the more chess pieces you can have, the more people you can put anywhere and be successful, the better team you're going to be.
Great. And Tom Paragonio was out, and you said you had to have some guys step up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you think did that?
I thought Finn Manuth was great. Finn is a young man who came into our program as somebody that we knew was going to be pretty good, but I don't think any of us really saw how good he could be because we didn't know really as much about his work ethic as we know now. This kid is one of the hardest workers that I've ever seen. He kind of immerses himself in the sport. I think Coach Bernardino, our distance coach, spends more time probably having to slow him down a little bit than having to kind of step up and make him work harder. That's just the kind of kid Finn is. He's one of those guys. He's a chess piece. He's a guy that you put him in an event, and he's going to win. So I think the biggest challenge we have for young ladies like Emma and young men like Finn is where do they go at SECs? Where do they go at NCAAs? What events are they going to be most effective for us in? So those are decisions that we have to make. But with Tom out last week, we know Akram's always going to be good, and we know Finn is going to be good, but I thought Finn really stood out last week, and he scored major points for us and had some great races. And coming down the stretch, I think he's only going to get better.
Great, and then y'all travel to Durham this weekend to face Duke in your second competition of the spring. What are your expectations?
Well, we want to go up there and win. We need to get a win. We haven't had a dual meet head-to-head win in a few meets now. So we need to get that going. But again, really right now, our primary focus we don't live and die by our dual meet record. That's not who we are. We want to be great at SECs, and we want to be even better on the national stage at NCAAs. I think that's where your top teams really shine. So, we're going up there with some specific races that we need to see people swim. And we've got to make some final decisions about our SEC championship team as well. It's a very competitive roster that we're putting together right now, and I think we have some young lady and some young men that really need to have a good weekend in order to solidify their spot on that roster. But this is one of those things above all that you want to go race well, and you want to win the meet. We want to come out of there with 2 victories and come back to Columbia looking at a week off and then heading into our invitational the 27th and the 28th here at Blatt.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.